Hi, welcome to Similar But Different, the podcast. Let's do that again. Okay. But I'm getting all the benefits.
Without having to pay.
Right.
Yeah, they screwed me. And then I found a bunch of friends that I was different from. I think I'd like the gram more if I got hit up in my DMs.
Okay, this should probably end. Hi, welcome to Similar But Different. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jen.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Rach.
How's it going?
It's good.
You're just talking about the bones in your hand?
The bones in the hand.
What do you mean you and Nathan were talking about it the other day?
Well, because I was trying to figure out if this was like, which way it was.
Okay, so Jen's talking about the shirt that she's wearing. It's a peace sign, but it's a skeleton hand.
Yeah. And I was like, this doesn't make sense because, like, no one does a peace sign like this. And I was, like, doing all weird kinds of stuff with my hand. But then I realized, like, it's just behind the bones that are in your hand because your finger bones go all the way down to your wrist.
Okay, so you and Nathan were talking about the shirt the other day.
Yep.
I thought you were talking about the bones in your hand. And I'm like, when did that come up?
The shirt. The bones in the hand. Not that I was wearing this multiple days in a row.
Of course not. Something that I want to acknowledge to the citizens is that for several episodes, you may have noticed if you listen in your car or listen in headphones, that we were each coming out of one side. And that was not intentional, and that should be fixed now. But actually, when you reset it, did you check that?
I mean, I put it on mono.
Okay.
I think that's the right setting, but do I really know what I'm doing now?
A few weeks ago, I saw my brother, and he was like, he always says, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm a little behind on the pod," and I'm like, the fact that you listen at all is cool.
Yep.
So you never need to apologize ever. But I could tell he was being hesitant. He's like, I do, maybe some feedback. And I'm like, yeah, give it to me. He's like, the choice of having each of you come out, it's kind of startling in my car. I'm like, oh, that's not intentional.
That's not a choice.
Someone else told us about that as well. So
yeah, that's why speak up. We are not offended. We don't know what we're doing. And by we, I mean me. I have no idea how to do the audio stuff. Please speak up, reach out, offer to help,
I'll love that being our tagline. Speak up. We don't know what we're doing. Maybe that's what you can put on the t-shirt.
Well, I mean, for Mel's shirt, I need to get her one that
Speak
says,
up. We don't know what we're doing.
I've recorded multiple times and never been on the
podcast. Yeah, that's a fun, unique,
yeah, I do need to get her like a cool, unique shirt. These shirts that I keep talking about that I haven't executed on.
Yeah. You got to get on that.
We'll execute.
If you give me the designs from Janelle, I can play around with it. No, you showed them to me.
Oh.
I also need the updated fonts.
Yeah, she sent our final stuff.
Nice.
And so I got all the deets that we need, which will be great.
Beautiful.
Logos.
All right. Full disclosure, we got a lot of out-of-townage coming up, so we're recording a back-to-back episode, so I kind of know what's up with Jen.
Yeah, in advance we're recording a lot.
Anything new that's happened in the last 20 minutes?
No, but I'm thinking about when these episodes will come out, and I think this episode will likely be the week of my birthday, which you are going to Boston the week of my birthday.
And my anniversary.
So my gosh.
The two most important days in my life. And another one of my best friend's birthday. We got married on her birthday.
Oh, rude. I'm just kidding.
I remember feeling emotional about it, and I called her and said, "Is it okay if we get married on your birthday?" And she goes, "Yeah, you mean I get to go to a party with free food and drink?"
Oh, yeah, that's epic.
Where all my other friends will also be at? Yes, please.
I get to spend my birthday with all my friends.
Yeah.
People I care about. Yeah, that's epic. I love that. I love that your friend also has a birthday in May because
I have the majority. May is the most popular month for my friends to have a birthday. I also remember talking to my mom and being like, I can't get married on Charlotte's birthday. And because I'm still in my 20s at the time. And she goes, Rachel, I hate to break it to you, but soon you won't spend your friends' birthdays always with each other.
Juicy.
And I was like, how dare you? And that is in fact true.
It's a harsh reality.
Yeah.
But
at the time, we were still doing that because we were like 27.
Yeah. I'm thinking about this, and there's a scenario that I don't want to let happen. I feel like I have whittled down. We've talked about the friendship thing. Whittled might not be the right word there. I have like the people that I really care about.
Yeah.
It's like that are basically family, and those
people you wouldn't be able to marry.
Correct.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good call out. Good flashback from the last episode. And in my mind, I don't ever want that to change. And I look at other adults, and it's a mix. Like I see with my mom, most of her friends that she still spends time with are people that she worked with for 30 years. It's not necessarily high school friends. Yeah. Or people that she, worked with for a few years, but then, fell in love with. That's you. So, and I look at other people's
I don't
parents.
believe in incest. We can't.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then I look at like other scenarios, other examples, and it's just like, yeah, they mostly hang out with their older friends, which are either people they worked with or people they met later in life in the neighborhood that they raised their kids with, or they spend time with their kids and families and stuff like that. And I just have this like terrifying thing that I don't want to let happen, and that's that, I don't have my people forever in my life.
I feel like if you have them now, they're solidified.
You say that.
But I also, currently still the majority of my closest friends do not have children.
Yeah, that's a big, apparently that has a big
impact. I want to say it's like 70-30.
Shit.
30 being the ones who have them. Maybe 60-40. But
I mean, that's
so I haven't, made that leap into, I have a kid, and so now I'm becoming friends with the moms I meet at school, and then have to phase others out of my life to make room. I would never do that to you.
Yeah, I would.
You're kind of stuck in.
That would hurt. I would hurt a lot.
Yeah. You're in the quicksand. That's what I'm going to refer to it.
The quicksand.
The harder you try to get out, the more I pull you back in.
I like that. That's the way to do it. Like, I remember when Heather had her kids, I felt a sense of jealousy towards her new friends that also had kids. And
I thought you were going to say jealousy towards the children.
Oh, no. That's funny, though. No, it was mostly like she would have these new friends that they'd hang out with because their kids are all the same age and they're going to the same soccer stuff. And it was like, shit, I hate these new people. But they were great.
Yeah.
They are very nice. But there was definitely that sense of jealousy that I felt because they had something that they could spend more time with Heather on that I, couldn't.
Yeah.
And so I do worry about that. That is, if we're able to have a kid, like, how will that impact my friendships? And I don't see it as like, the way I currently see it is maybe the optimistic side and what I think is hopefully the most likely. I think I'm being realistic into what will happen. But, like, I see my kid having multiple people that will love it.
Yeah, I'm a great auntie.
Yeah. And, like, I know you are the way you are with your niece. And I was like, why did I stumble on that?
Just one of them, though.
Well, she's older, so I am referencing that more than isn't it a baby? The other one?
She's, I think, like almost 5.
Oh, shit. My bad.
But,
well,
she was born in 2020, so she'll be 5 this year.
Holy shit. That's weird. For some reason, I still see it as a baby. She.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, so I know how you are with your nieces. I know how great Janelle is with her little brother and those kids. Lindsay's great with her nephew and niece. Melanie's great with kids. BMO has 2 kids. And so I feel like it's not gonna be a scenario where I'm like, no, I need to be like whatever it is, or I don't know actually know the scenario that happens when people have kids, but in my mind I'm like, no, it'll be fine with that core group of people.
Yeah,
like it's not gonna be an issue.
I think,
who knows?
I'm very much a believer in that if all parties want to make something work, then it can work, whether it's like friendships, marriage. I mean, like, granted, that's not true in all situations, but like, if 2 people really want to make something work, I think they can. And I think it depends on, like, I don't know. I'm very comfortable being around kids, and I'm like, yeah, come over, hang out at my house, bring your kid. I don't care. and encourage that. And so I also, or like, I'll come to you and I don't care that your kid is there.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes people with children feel as though to hang out with people who don't have children, their kid needs to not be there.
Oh, interesting. Ooh, interesting.
And so that's where I think there can be a disconnect because they're like, okay, well then, but then it's part of like, oh, because they feel bad, like having their kid have to tag along. I think one is part of it. And the second part is I'm going to have to take care of my kid while hanging out with you. And I don't want to do that. Whereas like if you also have a kid, then they can entertain each other.
Yeah, true. I would agree with that thought process because I think about like times when I get to hang out with Heather, like her daughter Hadley will be there, and it's like it's me and Heather hanging out, and I will take every opportunity, even if one of the kids is going to be there, because I get to still spend time with my friend.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. Like, is that something that they think about and like, ooh, I don't want to burden them with my kid and all the work that I need to do or whatever it is. That's interesting.
I also, I'm a easy hang. So like, if you're like, yeah, we got to take my kid to Chuck E. Cheese. Do you want to come? I'm like, sure. Like, I just want to hang out with my friend.
Exactly.
I'm not picky about what the activity is.
Same.
But I know not everyone is like that.
Yep. No, I would agree with that. I also, when you were saying that, like, you're very much like, yeah, bring your kid over. And I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, I'm not like that. I'm probably more often than not, every event that I've thrown has not been kid friendly.
Yeah.
Because Penny's not great with kids. And most of them have been drinking. And a lot of my friends that have had kids either will get babysitters or they won't come. And I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Well, I also, like, we don't have baby stuff at our house. So I also think that can be annoying for people because they have to
bring everything.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I
don't even know how we got on this topic, but I like it.
But all that to say, I don't regularly have children at my home, but they're welcome, is what I'm basically trying to say, or I will come to you.
Yeah, this is not a child-friendly house, which it will be a problem if we wind up having a kid, because...
Well, you'll make it one.
Penny is queen, and Penny doesn't like the little things running around. She sees them as things. Yeah. It's like a really weird looking squirrel.
But I feel like you can work on warming her.
Hopefully. I know it would take time. And it's going to be something that is going to need to be like a consistent, not like someone bringing their kid over. Unfortunately, she's a psycho.
Yeah, and I am thinking now, so like a couple of friends of ours who have kids, I think when they have the opportunity to like hang out with people who don't have kids, Skylar and I, they're like, yeah, I want to prioritize not having my kids there.
Yep.
But then that also creates a lot of extra effort on their end because they have to secure someone to watch them.
Oof, yeah.
And so it just makes scheduling hangs as an adult even harder. Like it's harder when you don't have kids. And then,
it's already hard. Yeah. Like you have to work around my personal time schedule.
Yeah.
Like I can get one event in during the week.
Right.
And that is a busy week. Yeah, exactly. What if it's
raining?
What
if it might rain?
Oh God, that's so funny.
I love how we just need to back up. So you're saying I will do anything to be able to hang out with my friend Heather. And then if y'all citizens remember from last episode, you learned that Jenn heard it might rain. So she did not go to an event, a child-free event.
Oh, that sounds awful. Yeah, I was going to get
really
like
funny.
Full time too.
Yeah, and like
so
drive time, like 2 hours there, 2 hours back.
2 hours if you're lucky with no traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be like a 12-hour hang.
It's a lot of good quality time. I will say that, but also like when you just put it into perspective of like 12 hours,
that's a lot of
active time. That's a lot of fucking time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fucking time. Like we have dinner planned with the girls this week, and I'm like, I need to make sure that I am fully rested because that's Thursday, and then I've got Mel's birthday on Saturday. And so it's like, that's a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
It's a quick turnaround for me.
You got Friday.
Yeah, but am I able to fully recover? Because I want to be fully there on Thursday and fully there on Saturday, and Jen needs me time.
Well, I'm glad that I get you Thursday.
Yeah.
And Tuesday. Wow, lots of Jen time. You know what I'm doing on Saturday? Driving to Norfolk because, this episode will have already come out, actually.
Yep.
So by this time, I will be a global entrant into countries. I've applied for global entry. For travel, because I have a lot of international travel coming up, and I didn't even have TSA pre-check, and every time I travel with someone, they make the face you're making now of why do you not have that?
TSA is the simple one. Like, global entry is the harder one because you have to actually go do the interview.
Yeah, but apparently there are no interview times in Richmond until the end of time, and so
they only have them in international airports.
Richmond is an international airport. It's RIC, Richmond International Airport.
They only have them where there's international flights, I guess I should say.
I just said RIC, Richmond International Airport, very confidently. And we now have an international flight to the Bahamas.
Oh, well then maybe when I was looking to apply.
No, right now I tried. I can't.
Okay.
It lists it as an option.
Ago. Really?
But then when you say, okay, show me appointments, there aren't any.
Yeah. Yeah, they said that because, like, part of it is when you're coming back from one of your travels, like international travels or whatever, that's when you can do the interviews. It's, like, right near the...
But you don't need to do it that way anymore.
What?
That's why I'm going to Norfolk this...
Norfolk does it?
Yeah, so I have to drive there. I've scheduled my interview and then...
In Norfolk?
Come back, yeah.
That's mind-blowing. Like the way that, it's been years since I did this, because I haven't been traveling. It was when I used to travel internationally for work. Yeah, it was when you return from one of your international flights, and so it's valid for 5 years, like whatever it is, when you initially apply. Like when you go through and get your passport, there's like a room over on the side that they're like, you can go wait in the room for your interview.
Yeah, that's what my other friend was telling me, and she's had hers for a while. So she's like, either they updated it, or maybe I'll do this interview and then I'll still have to do it whenever I fly. I don't know. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not, because it like sucks because it's never our final destination, and we always have a connecting flight that we have to get to, and I don't have time to sit in a waiting room.
Right.
So like
and
every time
if it's on a weekend, maybe no one's there.
Every single time I'll go into the room to see, and it's like, nope, we've got maybe an hour and a half until our next flight, and there's like 10 people in there.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay. Well, hopefully smooth sailing. So maybe it's beneficial that I have.
I'm glad. I really hope they've changed the process. So this is, if you tell me that, I'm gonna be like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Because even for like, we travel maybe once a year internationally, it would be worth it.
Yeah, I have 3 upcoming.
Yeah, that's exciting. So
Yeah.
much travel. I actually wanted to ask you about that because you said what was the travel place, and you mentioned for work.
Oh, Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. What is in Bulgaria?
Our office.
You guys have holy shit, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And so they're just doing like a gathering in Bulgaria for employees?
Yeah, there's like 20 of us. Well, not everyone, but like 20 or so I think US people are going. Normally it's like, I don't know, 4 to 10, so it's a bigger group, and my boss asked if I wanted to go, and I'm like, free international trip on the company, I'm not going to say no to that. But then also I've never met we have like a big engineering team there, and I haven't met a lot of them in person, and I think that would be nice.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what we did when our engineering team was in Croatia. I really enjoyed going to visit there. I
did try to be like, I am probably going to Greece in October if instead I could go to Bulgaria then, because they're neighbors.
Yeah.
Close, and I would like if work paid for my flight over there. But
yeah. No? That's funny. They weren't willing to adjust that. That's good.
They weren't willing to adjust 20 other people's schedules to accommodate my vacation.
Yeah.
No.
Is it a week-long trip?
Yeah.
In Bulgaria? Are you gonna take some time off and have Skylar come with and explore some stuff before or after?
We've kind of talked about it, but I don't think so, just because I already have so much time off that I'm taking because I'll be going to
for your other stuff.
Greece for a week in October. So, yeah, and it's pricey to get over there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my flight's probably going to be like $2,000.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's worth it to...
Yeah, just pay for one.
If they're going to pay for the flight there and back, then take an extra week and take a train or something.
I know a lot of people do that.
Yeah. I say that. I don't even know if I did that for my trips to Croatia. Yeah, I don't actually remember. Shit. But that's, yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I'm not looking forward to is the, like, 18 hours of travel.
Yep.
And then having to do that essentially twice.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, God.
In June and then in October. That's also, I was like, if I could do that once.
Is Bulgaria before Greece?
Mm-hmm.
And could you get like a lot of points from that travel, like, and then use that to maybe upgrade yourself
I am
for Greece?
so bad about points, and I actually don't have a card that like benefits me on
What does your card do?
I don't know, cashback. Because I just wasn't traveling enough. And now because of having to fly to Boston for work like 3 to 4 times a year, and now this other upcoming travel, I'm like, wow, should I just get a flight winning card for...
If you're traveling for work, my recommendation is what I did, and I got the Amex Platinum, and it's a $6.95. It might actually be more now, annual fee, but with that, the flights that you pay to Boston, your company's paying for, then Amex is going to give you $200 towards one of those flights.
Huh?
So you'll get $200 just cash. Okay.
So just any flight I book, I get $200?
It'll be with this specific airline, but it's an airline that you can choose. And so then you get points, 5 times points, because you're also going to book through the Amex app. And you can get some of them up to 10 times points. And then you get $200 back. And then if you stay in a hotel and you book that hotel and that information, all that stuff through whatever, you get $200 on that. And the company's paying for it. So that's $400 right there. You get $240 on digital entertainment that you're probably already spending money on.
Right.
So like Disney, ESPN, there's also like Audible, stuff like that. You get $20 a month towards that. So boom. Now you're pretty much at your $6.95. And then all the other benefits that you get to it are like you get $240 in Uber.
I don't Uber. What about Uber Eats?
Cash.
Okay.
You can count it for Uber or Uber Eats. So you get that. And is also, if you're doing the Uber for your company, then you get that money back from your company, and I'm like, it's just so great. And the biggest benefit is using their portal to book all the travel, because then you often get perks. You're going to get an immediate gold or platinum highest level status at Hilton and Marriott. So when you stay at those places, then you have like a higher status already, because you're pretty much bought into it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not even mentioning the fact that they're going to cover your global entry. They'll cover the cost of that.
I've already paid for that.
Well,
and
I don't know.
My next Boston trip's already booked, but I do have a lot more travel.
Yeah. I mean, it is. I loved that card when I was traveling, because I felt like I was just cheating.
Yeah.
And then we racked up so many points, and then we did a lot of free travel during that.
Then if I could... I mean, if I end up booking my Bulgaria flight, that's going to be, significant.
Yeah.
If I could get enough from that, too. Wow, there's
it is
something
bougie
in my eye.
Oh. It is a bougie card, because like their travel portal, like the other option I would recommend is, I think, like, is it Chase Sapphire or Chase Sapphire Preferred or Reserved or something? Because I think theirs is like a normal portal that has, their travel portal has like your standard places, whereas like the Amex one is a little like fancier. It's like they have like elite hotels, and it's like,
I'm not elite.
Fine hotels.
I'm not a May baby.
Yeah, it's true. It's like the fine hotels or something like that, collection, and it's like very, very fancy. So we did, with all of my points that I had, that was our Santorini trip, and it was at this very like all of it was free. The stay was free. Some of our flights were free. And the hotel that we stayed at was very nice. Felt very bougie. But, like, we maxed our points out and did that.
Yeah.
But there were points that, like, we didn't pay for, because most of that stuff's happening because of work. And they're paying me back anyways. I recommend it.
Okay.
Get the travel cards.
I also know Citizen Julia listens. She is my big travel friend. She's the reason why we'll be doing half of this international travel, and
Nice.
I know she has travel cards. So
yeah, see what she recommends. There's so many good ones out there.
I know, and see that's why every time I've looked into it, I've just felt overwhelmed. I need you to give me 3 options.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
mean, based on the fact that your company's paying for stuff, you need to be willing to pay for an annual fee card.
Yeah.
Because you'll get more perks that way. But you also don't have to. Like, you can still get a lot of points without a high annual fee.
Yeah.
Oh, I know there's a way to play the game.
The annual fee just pisses me off. Because then I'm like, I need to make sure that I'm getting the most out of this card.
I had a spreadsheet.
The annual fee. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am a spreadsheet girl.
I had a whole spreadsheet. And in the past 2 years, that's why we downgraded our Amex Platinum. Because we just weren't traveling enough.
Yeah.
We weren't getting back as much as it was worth it. So, downgraded myself, which was sad.
That is sad.
I'm no longer
Platinum.
elite. Platinum. Yeah, I'm
You're
gold.
Still elite, Jen.
Gold apparently is not as good as
At heart.
platinum. I like gold better.
Well, they don't have a platinum medal. They have a gold medal.
Yeah.
Number 1.
There you go. What? Anyways. I don't even know. We were going to do a jar pull.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Sorry. Taking us back all over the place.
What we got here. Competitiveness.
Ha ha. Where do we want to go with that?
I say I'm not competitive. Skylar does
Everybody
hard disagree.
Yeah.
And
it's just a matter of what you want to be competitive about.
I think it depends on how you define it, because when I think of competitiveness, I'm defining it incorrectly. I'm thinking of bad sportsmanship.
Oh, what?
And like people who are extremely competitive also are bad sports.
No. People who are extremely competitive are the people that you want to be playing against.
No, but I also associate with extreme competitiveness as just like being an asshole.
No. Do you think I'm an asshole?
No. There was a pause because I don't think I've seen you in like peak competitiveness though.
I mean, I can make anything competitive.
Okay, so but also I'm also thinking of it when it doesn't matter. So, for example, when we worked together, we had office Olympics, and there was someone who was known as being extremely competitive at the office, and we played a game of like human hungry hippos.
Yeah.
And I was in charge of judging his team, and he was cheating.
Oh.
And I called him out. I was like, you can't grab that ball. It was outside the line. And he bit my head off.
Oh.
And I said, I don't care that much. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's
because
just an asshole.
And so that is like when you are that competitive that you're going to cheat to win or like bite someone's head off, even if you're not cheating, but you're going to be like rude in an office Olympics game. That's where I'm like, I'm not that competitive.
Yeah, so I think there's plenty of people that can be extremely competitive without being an asshole. I think I understand what you're saying because I think it's very common for people who are extremely competitive to be assholes. I also think it's very common for people who are extremely competitive to potentially cheat. But they're just cheaters. And we don't like fucking cheaters.
Yeah.
Or quitters, but that's a different story. But I don't think that encompasses all highly competitive people. Like, I don't think all highly competitive people are assholes.
I will say, are you just not wanting to define
myself?
yourself as an asshole? I would define myself as someone who plays to win, but is okay with losing.
I've heard this quote before, so this is not my quote, but I like it. Where one of the women basketball players, I think, said, I hate to lose more than I like winning.
Oh, I don't think I have that.
I totally get that. I do not like losing. Me not liking losing doesn't mean that I am going to cheat or be an asshole in order to win. It just means I'm going to do everything I fucking can to win.
Yeah.
I want to fucking win.
And so I am similar, but I don't care if I lose.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of like playing Taboo or something.
Yeah.
And someone might say, gosh, you're so competitive. Because I'm like, I like this game and I want to win. I want my team to win.
Yep.
But if I lose, I lose. But I am trying my best. And I'm not going to cheat. Because what is the fun? That just is not fun.
It's not fun to cheat. Cheaters fucking suck. Again, I am the type of competitor that, again, I hate to lose. If I am not good at something, I won't play it.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
I will play it if I think I can beat you. Like, ping pong is a great example. I'm not the best ping pong player.
Oh,
but,
wow. We used to pong a lot in the
and
old
I
days.
really liked getting better, so I did enjoy playing people that could beat me because I felt like I was getting better.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. And then at a certain point when I'm not beating you and I'm maybe plateaued and you're still just always going to be higher than me, I'm like, I don't want to play you anymore. It's no longer fun. I don't want to always win, but I also don't want to lose just to fucking lose.
Yeah, I get that too. Like, I am not going to challenge you to a game of one-on-one basketball because that won't be fun for me.
Yeah, no,
like
it wouldn't.
I like how, I mean, you are saying you're competitive. I'm just acknowledging, yeah, you played basketball in college. That was your sport. I never played basketball, just had a hoop in my backyard or in my driveway. And so I'm like, that's not going to be fun for me because I do like to try my best, but we're so far off in skill level there.
Yep.
That it wouldn't be fun.
It wouldn't be fun for me either. Because, like, I've gotten to, and I'm realizing this too, because, like, also, as I've gotten older, like, I'm thinking about our company's going to be doing, like, this basketball event. And I got asked to, like, help run the event. And
what do you mean help run the event? Is this like a charity thing or like your company? You're
it's just
all
like
playing
a company
basketball.
So I can't play anymore anyways. Post knee surgery, I'm done. Career's over. But they had like different things that they were gonna do, like a free throw shooting contest, and maybe they were gonna
do that, couldn't you?
I could do that.
Okay.
They were gonna do knockout. Can't do that. That gets too aggressive because people are competitive.
All right. What about horse?
I think they're gonna do horse, which I might try to do that. But there will be a point where if I'm seeing the people around me are not even like close, it will make me be like, I'm still gonna win because I have to win, but I'm not gonna like sit here and go overboard. Like, I'm not going to be...
that's a good point too. So that's also a level of competitiveness that I don't think is fun.
I don't have to like push your face in the ground. I just need you to know I'm better than you.
I don't even need that. See, Skylar, when you get on my case about being competitive, imagine if Jenn was your wife, because that would be harder. And he is competitive. And I think also he's like, yeah, I don't like it when you're competitive because you're good at stuff that I'm sometimes not good at. And I'm still going to be competitive about the stuff that I'm not good at. So then it just makes me mad at you. And so I appreciate the honesty in that.
Yeah, that's...
Speaking of basketball, though, I didn't tell you this. Gosh, so humbling.
Oh.
Skylar and I, a few weekends ago, were playing pickleball. And next to our pickleball court in our neighborhood is a basketball court. And there happened to be a basketball that someone left. And so we were taking a break from the pickling and went to shoot some hoops, as they say. And I was so bad. Like, I probably haven't shot a basketball, honestly, since maybe high school.
Mm-hmm.
But wasn't good, but wasn't abysmal. And I was like, my arm doesn't even know what to do.
Oh, God.
And then it was a little sore the next day. And I told myself it was from playing pickleball, but I think it was from trying to shoot the basketball. And in my defense, there were so many that should have gone in. The ball was a little too inflated, which Skylar did agree.
Oh, okay.
It was too bouncy.
Yep. Okay, that's the thing. That's real.
But I was just like refused to leave until I could like get a shot that I found to be acceptable. And I was just like, but I wasn't getting mad.
Yeah.
I was just like, I cannot believe how bad I am at this. And my competitiveness just wanted me to be able to successfully get a shot that I found acceptable.
I totally get that. My biggest fear is if we have a kid and they're in sports, I'm going to have lost my athleticism and my abilities. Because, like, I think about, like, when I saw my parents, like, touch a basketball, and it's like, oh, dear God. Like, you have no idea how to hold that thing. Whereas, like, how are they going to, I think I've told Nathan this. It's like, they're not going to believe that I ever played sports.
You know what? They will. Because conversely, my dad played sports his entire life. He played in college. And I, as a youth and as an adult, am like, my dad knows what's up and is better than everyone at everything except ping pong. No one in the family has been able to beat me. And I watched my dad get mad playing me in ping pong,
which is different than being an asshole.
Yeah,
just so you know.
And he was not being an asshole. If he was being an asshole, I'd be like, Dad, I'm your child.
Yeah. It's like you're allowed to get like upset and irritated even if it's just a fucking ping pong game.
But I think it's because, one, he's a winner. He's very competitive, and he is also like known in the family as being able to beat everyone at everything.
I love that. That is what I want to be known as.
And so I was just like, I even in playing ping pong was like, I don't know how I keep winning.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, it's like I know Nathan's better than me at ping pong. And so I like playing him occasionally, but for the most part, I want to watch him dominate my brother.
You need to get a ping pong table.
We have a ping pong table. Not here. Not here. We leave it at the river because it's easier to get out and use there.
But I can't.
Yeah, I think once eventually when we don't have a tenant in the basement, we'll have a ping pong table.
Yeah. Gosh, somewhere. Remember when we used to play doubles at work? That was so fun.
So fun. So fun. And that's the other thing. That's why I mentioned, like, it's not just winning, but like in my mind, if I'm not getting better and I don't see that I'm actually making progress and improving, and I need to be putting in the work to do that. But that's the other piece of it. I feel like nowadays kids are like, I don't want to play because the team sucks. And it's just like, well, the team sucks because you suck.
Wow.
So spend some time at home practicing and get better, and then you'll be fine. But don't sit here and say, like, coach never plays me, so I'm not going to play the sport. It's like, you sound like a bitch. Go home, work on your shit.
How many youths are you talking to where this is a problem? Where are
I'm
you
thinking
seeing
of,
this?
like, when I was in college.
Okay.
When I was in
like,
college.
are you hanging out with high school ball players?
I'm just remembering back when I was even high school and college, kids that would complain about not getting playing time and stuff, and it's just like, dude, put in the fucking work. If you're not going to put in the work and you're not going to get better, you don't deserve to start. Not everybody is a starter, okay?
Yeah, not everyone's Jenn.
Yeah, some people are really, really good role players, and you need those players in order to have a successful team.
What do you mean a role player?
Practice players. People, their role is to play you really hard in practice. They might not see a minute in games, but the value that they bring by being like a really strong practice player is all the value that they need.
Yeah, I'd hate that.
I mean, we need those people.
I know we do.
So valuable.
But I want the spotlight.
I would have been okay. Probably not. I say this. No, I'm going to take it back immediately. I always think I would have enjoyed being a like practice player at like a D1 level.
Yeah.
Like part of me was like, that's the only way I would potentially get there. I would never start at a D1 level. But like, I didn't have the same work ethic either to like prioritize athletics over education. But in my mind, that would have been a really cool thing. Because imagine, I mean, who just won the national championship? UConn women's. Imagine being a practice player on that fucking team. I'd be like, that's got to be the best fucking feeling in the world. Because they don't win that championship without you.
Yeah.
It would be fucking awesome. I mean, the best feeling is probably starting and playing and scoring 30.
But the second best feeling.
But yeah, if that's not the best feeling for you because you'll never be there, that's the best feeling for you is where you are.
Yeah.
So that sounds like cool as shit to me. I'd be cool. I would probably be okay with that actually. But I would want to win a national championship. But yeah, I don't know, competitiveness. It's not just sports.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask, what about you? Okay. One, I want to ask about like a game night with friends. How competitive are you?
I actually try to reel myself in. I'm more competitive when it comes to sports than anything else. I still want to win. So it depends on the crowd. Like, I remember when Nathan and I played Monopoly for the first time, and I fucking dominated him. He never wanted to play again because
What's your piece?
I killed him. The doggy. Although
I like the thimble.
my mom is the thimble. Big fan of the thimble. I think I wound up being the hat because Nathan was the
Okay,
dog,
I do
and
like
he
the
always
hat,
gets what he
too.
wants.
Oh.
Oh no, the car. I think I was the car. I don't remember. But I kicked his ass. Kicked his fucking ass. And that is how I was when I played. I was like, I'm taking you for all you're worth. Go to the bank, get another loan. I'm going to take all your money.
Yeah, okay. See,
And all
I
your
am like that too. And I do, if the vibe is right and the group can handle it, I'm going to gloat a little. But I don't do that
I can read a
to
room.
be an asshole. Yeah. But like, I'm going to pump myself up because it's fun. But I want other people to do that too.
Yep. And if I'm not winning and you're winning, I'm probably going to be like, what the fuck? You're cheating? You're probably cheating somewhere,
now,
aren't you?
if it's like a knockout, like, I don't know, whatever we're playing, you have 50 points and I have 6, and you're gloating, then I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
But I also don't want you to pity me.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm thinking like Scrabble.
Yeah.
When you're like hundreds of points ahead of people and it's just like, I am just that much smarter than all of you. That is a good way to gloat.
Yeah.
It's funny.
But yeah, it's fun if everyone has the same level of competitiveness.
Yeah.
Because there's some people who are going to get like really frustrated, and then I'm like, well, this isn't fun.
It's not fun.
And that's why I'm like,
Read the
we're
room.
playing Scrabble.
Yeah.
And that's why my tagline for competitiveness is I play to win, but I don't care if I lose.
Yeah. For games and stuff like that, I want to win every time, and I'm going to play to win. But like if I lose, it is just Scrabble.
Yeah. I'm not going to be in a bad mood about it.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be upset about
And
that.
that
I'll get upset for sports.
Is
though.
again, I associate with being too competitive.
Yeah, I'll get emotionally attached with sports.
Now, what about competitiveness at work?
So I've never had that feeling of competitiveness at work. And actually, I feel like this new job, I work with someone who I think was very much competitive. Because I actually, and maybe this is, I'm not looking at it the right way, but I never saw it as a competitive space. I saw it more as a place where you actually, like, everybody's job is to highlight all the stuff that other people are doing. Or maybe that's just how I always thought about it. So for me, I've never thought of work as a competitive place.
Yeah. I also think it depends on your work environment.
Yeah.
Because
I've been lucky, I guess.
for like 5 years, I worked at a place where the leadership was very much like, nope, we're all here to lift each other up. And we're all working on this together. And you just didn't feel very siloed and having to prove yourself.
Yep.
I haven't always worked at places like that. But even then, I'm just not competitive in that way. Like, I think I was talking to Mel the other week. We were talking about work competitiveness. And if someone's going to be like, yeah, I'll take that. I'll do that. I'm like, fine.
Yeah.
I think I'm also just like confident enough in my own value. I'm like, if you want to take on more work, sure.
Yeah.
Go for it. If that's what you need for your ego. But I've also never been in a position where it's like, hey, one of you's getting promoted.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think that's a healthy environment to like put people on a same team against each other.
Yeah, but if it's like you've been in a situation where it's like, we're going to be internally hiring for a manager for this team.
Yeah.
And so that's just going to be one.
But I never see it as a competition and I don't know if it's just because I'm not comparing myself to my peers or if it's just like the way I see it is that like the best person's going to get the job because they deserve it. And if it winds up being fucking incest or like, you know, some like nepotism type bullshit, it is what it is. I don't know I guess maybe I just don't care enough. Like I want to do my job really well. And I want to enjoy doing my job and I want to enjoy the people I work with. And so in my mind, bringing that like competitive energy isn't a way to be happy at an office or at a work spot.
And I agree. And as I'm also saying, like, you would think I would be more competitive at work where it can matter.
Yeah.
Like there's it's not Monopoly money.
Yeah.
but I'm more competitive playing Monopoly.
The fake money. Yeah, that's so true, actually. I hope I'm never in a situation where work-wise it's competitive, cuz I don't know if I would be happy there.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I also think it's harder. I personally struggle with like advocating for myself. And so if you are super competitive and in a competitive environment, I imagine you have to do a really, really good job of advocating for yourself.
Yeah.
And proving time and time again with however you do it how valuable you are. And I don't know if I don't know if I'm great at that.
Yeah.
Not that I don't think I'm not valuable. I'm not good at like saying I'm great.
Yeah. I feel moments of needing to do that if I have a new manager.
Mm-hmm.
And in certain environments, I've been told like, yeah, to be recognized in order to get XYZ, you really need to show this. And it's not like you're not already showing this, but it's like you need to like not shove other people aside, but be like, I claim this as my contribution and what I did. And that's really not my energy. I'm like, no, we all did this as a team. Mm-hmm. And even if I owned it, I'm like, yeah, but I owned it because this other person was working on this, so I could do this. They could have easily gotten this result as well.
Yeah, but if you're the only one that worked on it and you're the only one that did it and you did it from start to finish, I'm all for like, yeah, I did this.
Yeah.
But that's just not the case, or at least in my job. That's just not how it works. So it's really hard. Like, I succeed by enabling and supporting others in succeeding.
Yeah. I think with me, I'm like, yeah, I can set up and run these tests. And yeah, it could be my idea to launch this test, but it also, maybe it's going to work, maybe it doesn't. And if it does work, it's like, I'm the best because it worked, but I'm also not the worst if it doesn't. And so that's where I struggle.
Yeah.
It just happened to, great, that test won.
I mean, isn't there like a stat that they've talked about of like a really large percentage of tests are failures, but it's the lessons and making sure you don't repeat the same mistakes or like failures.
Yeah, so you know what? When I'm up for my annual review, I'll be like, here are all the things I did that failed. But this is what I learned. And they'll be like, we need to see dollars behind those learnings.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that's
try again next year.
A business loves to say, like, hey, it's okay. We can test and fail and learn. It's okay.
But what's the revenue impact?
Yeah.
What's the contribution margin?
What have you done other than fail?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, work competitor. I know that exists in certain industries.
Yeah. Sales.
Yeah. Some of that shit's like highly competitive.
I bet like actors.
Oh God.
You know? Because it is just like there's one role to be filled.
And like I feel like that's such a like I don't want to say I don't know if the right word is saturated, but like everybody and their mother wants to be an actor or not, and like there's not so many
me or my mom.
I just mean there's a pool of a lot of people that want to get into that industry. And in reality, especially now, movies are just duplicates of what something else was before because they can't think of anything unique. So there's very few things to get involved in.
And that's a way I'm so not competitive because I did a lot of theater in high school, did in college, worked at a theater in the marketing department, really love the arts in that way. And people, you know, when I'm younger, were always like, oh, are you going to try to become an actress? And I would say, nope, because I don't care enough. I'm not competitive in that way, and I'm not like
I mean, it'd be cool though, don't get me wrong.
I actually don't think it would be.
You don't think it'd be cool to be in a movie or a TV show?
Sure.
I remember
but like unless you are extremely successful, it's a very stressful job because like you do your one job and maybe you make it's like being in the NBA for a year, you know, and then you're like, fuck, and I'm injured, and what else am I gonna do? Like once your movie's done, you have to find another role.
Yeah, I guess,
and
it's
I feel
easy.
like there's not enough security in that.
Yeah, it's easy for me to say that because like that my whole career isn't dependent upon acting.
Yeah,
but I do think it would be fun.
Right. And then sometimes, like, there are actresses who are in Orange is the New Black who are like, no, I made $5,000 from that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was, like, on Netflix, and all the rules around, like, royalties and stuff, they weren't getting paid for, like, rewatches because it was streaming. And they're like, I made nothing from that. And I was on it for 5 years. And then you think of, like, you just assume, oh my gosh, you were in this insanely popular TV series, you must be a millionaire. No,
I don't believe that though. I would never assume that those people are rich, but I also wouldn't assume that they'd be making so little. But then again, that's the contract that they signed up for. I guess if you're willing to take roles so that you can actually, like, get started and get out there, you got to do those things, which sucks. But I feel like there's so much shit, like, when you look at low budget films, and I'm like, those people got paid nothing.
Yeah.
Especially for pilot episodes. But I would have imagined over time, especially that many seasons, that Orange is the New Black people would, like, they would have, the pilot was successful, and then they went on to have, what, 6 seasons?
Yeah, but I don't know, maybe they sign, I don't know how that stuff works, so I'm kind of talking on my ass.
I don't either.
Skylar was in a movie.
What? We got
He
a fucking
was-
movie star in our hands.
He was Bigfoot.
Bigfoot?
And so a friend of ours is, he makes movies,
Uh-huh.
and so he made a movie, and it premiered at some various film festivals. Like, he's won awards for it. So
Dude,
it
that's
is
the
cool.
coolest thing ever.
And we were, like, hanging out with him, and he goes, you know, Skylar, I need someone to be a dead Bigfoot. I just need you to lay on the ground in this Bigfoot costume, and you're about the right height. So
That's the coolest thing ever.
yeah.
One, love that, Skylar. Congrats, because that is, I would tell the world that.
Yeah.
How have I not known this already?
I wish Wild Man, I think, is what the movie's called. I don't know
That's
if it's, like,
fucking cool.
easily accessible, but
Yeah,
it is
I'm a
cool.
fan of this. The dead Bigfoot. Man, what a role.
Yeah.
I bet you played it great, too.
Yeah, he lays down like the best of them.
God, man. That's, like, perfect scenario. I remember being younger and looking at those, or watching the MTV challenge things that they would do. And talk about competitiveness. Because I feel like these people were fucking just...
MTV challenges. What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
It was like all of those, like, wasn't like Joe Rogan the host of some of them or something, or no, it was some other white guy with brown hair.
Skylar?
Yeah, right. Any guy.
Nathan? It's one of them.
They all fit. Yeah, there was like these like MTV Road Warriors or
Okay, I know what you're talking
the
about.
challenge or True something. It was always like these reality game
I
show-
never watched those. I watched like
Oh, those are fun.
When they get off next, like when they get off the bus.
Oh yeah, the dating one.
But speaking of competitiveness in games, I wanted to be on like Double Dare or Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Exactly where I was thinking of going.
So bad.
I was like, I could crush that shit.
And that is why
I would dominate.
despite the negativity towards my mud run, I am excited because I love an obstacle course.
And if it didn't have run in it, I'd probably be more open to it.
Yeah, we're not going to be running.
The run part gets me every time.
Skylar got annoyed because he was like, I am very supportive of your mud run and know you can do it. I was only wanted you to be hesitant because there are a lot of these types of runs that aren't run by a legit organization and like people get injured and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, God.
And Citizen Haley, I did a little poll on our Instagram saying, Rachel's getting a lot of hate for the mud run. Do people think she can do this? And she voted no. So I was like, WTF, Haley?
Yeah, WTF,
And she goes,
Haley.
I believe that you can physically do this, but my husband did one, and he had mud stuck in places that I can't say out loud for days, and he was so cut up and stuff. And that's what Skylar said. He's like, some of the bad ones, they just don't care, and there are people who found like glass in the mud pits and stuff. So that's his concern.
Dude. Yeah, valid concerns here.
Yeah.
Are they making you sign some sort of waiver?
Oh yeah, it's been signed.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I'm out. Oh, well, I mean, I was
Well,
out.
you weren't in,
I was out at
so-
run, so, but now
Yeah.
I'm way out, and I don't love the idea of you also doing it if you had to sign a waiver that says there's a possibility of death.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
just
I didn't
imagining
read
that's
it.
what the
I
waiver
just
says.
checked the box and signed it.
You didn't even read the waiver?
Nah, my other family members had already signed up, so if they're willing to risk their lives for the mud, so am I.
I am actually...
Do you ever read those?
I mean, yes.
Yeah, I don't.
And because I also don't rely on other people reading.
Yeah. Now,
I don't trust other people.
If I am signing up for certain terms and conditions of how my data is going to be used and sold, I do pay close attention to that because that's also very relatable to my job. But in terms of just like medical waivers and stuff,
those are the ones I read.
Yeah, I
was
should.
like, I might not read the terms and conditions of Netflix because regardless what it says, I'm gonna use it and pay for it and watch it.
Exactly, I'm not reading that.
But I'm fucking reading things related to medical shit.
When I got Botox for my headaches, I did look at that.
Oh, okay.
I skim it, and it's like chance of death, paralysis, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, I'm signing it. I'm still gonna do it.
Well,
they
no,
have
you
to
can
put
go
those
up and
things.
Look. Yeah, you just gotta look at how often it happens.
50% of the time.
Yeah, then you say no. Then you say no to that. That's a no-go for me, dog. That's crazy. I'm actually curious if other people are similar to you or me.
Yeah.
Like how it depends on the waiver for me, but like medical waivers especially.
What terms and conditions do you read?
Or do you like
now,
is it like
when we're onboarding a new vendor or someone at work, a new service, I do read those because I have to. I gotta see what the, how much notice you have to give if you want to cancel. Yeah. What do we get when they're not working? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, which makes sense.
But death, bring it on.
I was going to say that's insane. That does not make sense.
I don't know if it said death, but it probably did.
It probably...
Because I'm sure people... But, I'm sure if you run, the Richmond Marathon, any sort of athletic event, they're going to say, if you die, you can't sue us.
Yeah, maybe. And that's why any run I won't do.
Well, any final thoughts on your competitive nature? Are you more competitive than Nathan?
No, we're both competitive.
But would you say it's pretty equal? Because I know you're both competitive, but I don't know if one of you's more.
I think there's times when Nathan can be more competitive than me. But that's part of that is I think men don't read the room. They just are going to be competitive, some teetering on the edge of asshole. Because they just don't think about... Men don't do a great job of thinking about how other people might be feeling.
Yeah.
Whereas
will you ever,
I will.
bring down your competitiveness because you find someone else's more annoying and just let them win?
Never let them win. But if I will, if
they're getting too upset because you're doing much better, you'll pull back some.
Yeah, if I it's like the read the room thing. If I can see someone's really it's just becoming way less fun for them because I'm just completely slaughtering the shit out of them, I'll probably pull back.
Yeah,
I'll pull back some. I'm not gonna talk as much shit. Yeah, I'm gonna be maybe a little bit less of shoving it down your throat and rubbing your face in the mud, and more of oh man, let's go try, whatever it is. I don't know. I'll definitely adjust.
Sure.
Although certain
but
people...
But inside, you're like, yeah, you fucking
I say
suck.
that, but, if I'm doing something against my brother, it is no holds bars, okay? I do not care how you feel. I want to make you feel like shit. I am going for blood, and I will win at all costs, or I want to win at all costs, and I want you to walk out of there knowing that your sister is the best fucking thing in the world.
Yeah. I have played pickleball against my brother, and because I know he's not going to care. I don't know. I feel like we were at similar levels, and if I got a point or was winning, I would be and run around the court. Yes, exactly. Throw your hands up. And make it a big deal. But that's fun. I want him to do that too.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But, he's the only person that I'm okay with walking away if he's, upset and sad. I'm good with that. It's not
I don't think I could, but I also can't see my brother caring enough.
Oh, yeah, no, that would be... I don't know if it would ever happen, but that would be gold. Whereas I don't want other people to feel like shit. Because I'm not going to feel good.
Yeah.
See, and I want to feel good when I win.
That's when I, when I think of people who are too competitive, it's I will slaughter you. I do not care. You suck.
Yeah.
And I will do whatever it takes to win, even if that means yelling at sweet little Rachel during Hungry Hungry Hippos.
I mean, you also got to be careful of those people that are just like going to play innocent, but in reality snipe the shit out of you. Come out of nowhere and act like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't played since high school. And then all of a sudden start like fucking swishing threes. Yeah, snipers. You got to watch out for those.
A friend of mine wanted me to join her roller derby team, which I was into because there's an aggression that lives inside of me, but I have too many injuries, like knee and back. That's not a good idea. But Skylar, even though he claims I'm so competitive, said, I don't know. I don't know if you have the right energy for that.
The fight.
And my roller derby friend was like, no, I've seen that side of Rachel. And she doesn't, like, know me as well as Skylar does.
Yep.
But she, I don't know, has made me see me be kind of an asshole during a pledging situation. And was
Weren't
like...
we all?
She's like, no, Rachel can be a cold stone bitch.
Yeah. And honestly,
she's like, and that's why I want her on my roller derby team.
I love that shit though. Like, you're not there to make fucking friends with your competitor or with the other team.
Ooh, though I will say, I
that.
specifically, I think a handful of times at soccer games in high school, I would like get so pissed off at someone on the other team and like maybe shove a little too much or
totally okay, acceptable.
Say something shitty.
Yep. Acceptable. It doesn't make you an asshole.
Because of who I am, afterwards, or maybe I would be like, hey, sorry for being an asshole.
What? No, because you're not an asshole. You're competing. That's not asshole.
But I probably was being an asshole. But you know what? I would only be an asshole if they were being an asshole first.
So then, don't apologize. I don't actually think that's asshole. I feel like during a game, like, we're enemies. We're not fucking friends. That's the one thing that the NBA, like, kind of struggles with, but like it's not the same as it used to be. It used to be like you're going out there and you're gonna fucking fight the shit out of these people, and you're gonna do everything you can to win this game because it's also your job. Whereas like nowadays it's like, yeah, good shot. No, fuck that. You can't shoot for shit, bitch.
See, I really struggle, and why only reason why I could never play sports competitively. When people are like elbowing and stuff, I'm like, because I'm also a rule follower, and
I mean,
I'm
that's
like,
not illegal. It's a contact sport.
Yeah, but there's certain things you're not supposed to elbow the shit out of the person. You can get close and kind of shove back and forth, but like when you're throwing elbows into my rib cage,
I'll
cut you and then apologize after when we're doing our good game.
That's too funny. Yeah, I'm more of the I'll cut you, but I'm not gonna apologize for anything that happens on the court during a game.
Yeah. Well, you're cutthroat.
When it comes to sports, man, I definitely think the competitive side of me is definitely more to your version of asshole. I just don't see that as asshole, but I can see it.
I mean, we've played ping pong together, and I don't ever remember you being an asshole. But also, that's just like ping pong. Yeah. But maybe that's more. But I've also watched you play with like other people who I think you'd be okay being an asshole around, and I think you identify as more asshole than you are.
Yeah, well, I also think I've grown a lot from, well, I say that.
And now maybe if I watched you play basketball in college, I'd be like, she sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I do feel like I'm different with my competitiveness now than I was. But I also, like, at the same time, like, I say that. I feel like I got some, like, sportsmanship award in college, which I think was just an award they gave to people that didn't win any other awards, but did a really good job.
Most improved.
It's like yeah, exactly. Like, that's for that type of award.
Participant.
But like, I'm still gonna respect you as a competitor, but I'm not your fucking friend. I'm not apologizing for things I'm doing unless I do something that's like absurd.
Yeah, but then apologizing, like, I feel like you can be competitive and play strong in your sport and not be throwing elbows. But then
True,
it's like when
but,
everyone else is throwing elbows, and that's what I think they're doing.
Yeah.
And so that's why I wouldn't be able to handle it. And
Man.
then I could see myself snapping. And maybe that's what I did when I apologized. I don't remember. Maybe I blocked it out of my memory.
I mean, snap, that's a part of the game, right? Like you get your emotions build up and you get this, there's just a lot going on. So like a lot of stuff that you might say during the game, snap, flip, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at some of the like the NBA guys when they like get in each other's faces, it's like they're not actually going to do anything, but in the moment, this is a fucking big deal.
Yeah. And you know what? That's why for soccer in particular, being a goalie is the best because you can do whatever you want because you own that space.
Oh God, yeah, coming out with your fists and punch the guy's head instead of the ball.
Exactly. Oh no. My goal is to protect this goal, and you were in my way.
That's too fun. I played goalie in high school just because had quit soccer, and then like I still played with a lot of those girls growing up, and one of my really good friends played defense.
Defense?
She was a defender. Played on defense. I did say
she
that
played
weird.
Defense.
I said that weird. That's a good call out.
It's weird. If you had said, yeah, we were in an argument and I was on the defense, that sounds normal. But being like, I played defense.
My emphasis was on the wrong syllable there. So she was a defender, and she was like at the time, I think there's like stopper, sweeper. I can't even remember those. And so she played in the very back. And I remember one of the players on the other team slid into, when I was sliding in to save the ball, with her cleats up. And it was dirty, like fucked up for sure. And then Blaze, like a couple plays later, just fucking takes this chick out. And like I bet you she probably said something like, that was for my fucking goalie. Like,
I support that.
And like she was the kind of player that was like, you want her on your team because she is going to make sure that players don't fuck with you.
Yeah. No, I'm into
And that's
that.
the best type of teammate.
Yeah.
And that is how I feel like also the competitor in her, that's how it was. Like,
yeah.
Oh man, that's that shit. That's that good shit. That's a good teammate. Be a good teammate. Be a Blaze.
Be a Blaze. All right. Well,
yeah. So it is probably getting bedtime.
Let us know. Rank your competitiveness. I know it's almost 8:45.
Rachel's trying to wrap this up forever, but I got excited about competitiveness.
No, it was a good topic. I was gonna say whoever submitted this, but I guess it was me because there was no name attached. So good job, me. I'm the best. I win the jar bowl. But yeah, please comment, like, follow, subscribe, and ta-ta, citizens.
Love ya.
Stay similar,
but different.
We're trying that out. Let us know how you feel. I feel like it doesn't really flow.
No.
Yeah.